Shedeur Sanders sends powerful message to Colorado Buffalo's locker room. Even now that he's in the NFL, Shedeur Sanders is still making his voice heard at Colorado. His message to the Buffaloes calls for focus, accountability, and maintaining the standards he helped set during his time in Boulder. Since Shedeur Sanders left the Colorado Buffaloes football program, both he and coach Deion Sanders have relatively struggled to find success without each other. Shedeur was once projected as a potential first-round pick, but he slipped to the 5th round of the 2025 NFL Draft and is now the 3rd quarterback on the Cleveland Browns depth chart. With the Buffaloes, Deion is still trying to figure out the quarterback situation, while the team sits at 2-3. Last season was a totally different story. The Buffaloes went 9-4 and even made their first bowl game since 2020. Even with a rough start this year, Shedeur still checked in from afar, reminding the team what he expects. "I shouldn't see no laughing, no smiling," Shedeur said on a FaceTime call in a video posted by Deion Sanders Jr. on his well-off media channel. Even from the NFL sidelines, Shedeur's presence is still felt in Boulder, and the Buffaloes could use his leadership now more than ever. Why Colorado needs to hear what Shedeur Sanders has to say. The vibe around Colorado has been different ever since Shedeur and Heisman winner Travis Hunter moved on. There's still talent on the roster, just not at the same level as those two brought. At 2-3, this isn't where Deion thought his team would be. And that's exactly why Shedeur's voice still matters. In just 2 seasons, he left a mark on Boulder that's hard to forget. Before he arrived, the program was at its lowest point. Colorado finished 1-11 the year before he showed up and hadn't had a winning season since 2016. In many ways, the team had forgotten how to win, and Shedeur, along with Deion, brought that back. There's a reason both Hunter and Sanders had their jerseys retired. It wasn't just about stats, it was about the mark they left on the program. In fact, Shedeur could easily be considered one of the best quarterbacks in Colorado history. Last season, he completed 74% of his passes for 4,134 yards, threw 37 touchdowns against just 10 picks, and averaged 8.7 yards per throw. He even finished 8th in Heisman Trophy voting. With numbers and leadership like that, it's no wonder the Buffaloes still need to listen to what Shedeur has to say. He helped build the culture, set the standard, and instill the winning mindset that Colorado is still trying to hold on to. How Colorado's struggles test Deion Sanders' leadership. Starting the season 2-3 with multiple conference losses isn't exactly an easy spot to bounce back from, especially with the quarterback situation still up in the air. Liberty transfer Kai Don Salter is expected to take the reins, though Sanders hasn't officially confirmed it yet. There's still a chance for a winning streak and to surprise some critics, but it won't come easy. The Big 12 is as competitive as ever. Texas Tech, Arizona State, BYU, and Iowa State are all top 25 teams, and Houston remains undefeated and very much in the mix for the conference title. If Colorado wants to compete, it's going to be a long road. Right now, the Buffaloes aren't at that level. Their schedule doesn't make life any easier, and a run at the Big 12 title feels out of reach unless the team quickly finds some consistency. The next few weeks could define whether this season is remembered as one of missed opportunities for Sanders and his program. The pressure is mounting, and heading into the offseason, it will be even bigger, both for recruiting and for selling players on the vision of where Colorado is headed. The atmosphere inside the Colorado Buffaloes locker room has always been lively, but on this particular afternoon, it felt different. The echoes of cleats striking the floor had quieted, the usual banter dimmed, and all eyes were fixed on one person, Shedeur Sanders. The young quarterback, son of NFL Hall of Famer Deion "Prime-Time" Sanders, stood in front of his teammates not just as a player but as a leader ready to deliver a message. His presence alone demanded attention, but the words he was about to unleash carried a weight that went beyond the game. The moment before the words. The Buffaloes had been through a roller coaster season. They had shocked the nation early with thrilling wins, stumbled under the pressure of expectations, and fought through criticism that came from every corner of the media. Every practice, every snap, every mistake was magnified under the spotlight because of who their head coach was and who their quarterback was. Shedeur understood that. He knew that the spotlight wasn't just a privilege, it was a burden. And as he looked at his teammates, some frustrated, others fatigued, he felt the responsibility not just to play quarterback but to set the tone for the entire program. He tightened his gloves, scanned the locker room, and took a breath. The message. "Listen up," Shedeur began, his voice cutting through the silence. This right here, this locker room, is all we've got. Forget the cameras. Forget the people outside who don't believe in us. Forget the ones who are just waiting for us to fail. What we do in here, what we do when nobody's watching, that's what defines us. A few players nodded, others leaned forward. They don't understand the work we put in. They don't see the hours, the sweat, the sacrifice. They just see headlines. But I promise you, when we stick together, when we hold each other accountable, when we fight for every inch, we're unstoppable. Shedeur's voice rose, firm but steady. You all know my last name. And yeah, it carries weight. But when I walk out on that field, I don't care about being Deion Sanders' son. I care about being your quarterback. I care about being the guy you can trust when the game's on the line. And I want every single one of you to feel that same responsibility. Not for me. For each other. A personal note. Shedeur paused, letting the words settle before shifting his tone. It wasn't just about the game anymore. Look, we all come from different places. Some of us came here with nothing. Some of us had people telling us we weren't good enough. Some of us had doors slammed in our faces. But somehow, we ended up here. Together. Wearing the same colors, representing the same school, chasing the same dream. He looked toward the younger players sitting in the corner, wide-eyed. I need you to understand something. This isn't just football. This is a family. When you put on that jersey, you're representing everyone in this room. And I promise you, I'll go to war for you. But I expect the same. No half-effort. No excuses. All in. The turning point. By now, the locker room was alive. Heads nodded, fists clenched, and even the players who had been slumped in silence were upright, leaning into Shedeur's every word. He finished with a fire that lit up the room. They want to see us break. They want to see us point fingers, to doubt each other, to quit. But that's not who we are. That's not Buffalo's football. We fight. We believe. We finish. And when the clock hits 0, win or lose, we walk out knowing we left everything on that field. Shedeur pounded his chest. So I'm asking you, are you ready to fight? Are you ready to prove every single one of them wrong? Are you ready to do this together? The locker room erupted. Cheers, chants, and the thunderous pounding of fists against lockers filled the air.